Welcome to EduRev.
Now let's look at the next question. What does it say? And yes, this one is a cat. This one is a cat question. Okay, this one is a cat question. Now it's a very interesting question. Let's try to understand. There are T taps numbered 1, 2 and so on till T, each of which can fill a cistern. Okay, so there are T filling taps. The rate of filling of the nth tap is such that it is equal to twice that of all the taps from 1 to n put together. So the speed of filling of the nth tap is double of that of 1 till n minus 1 together. If the 18th tap can fill an empty cistern in 2 minutes, find the time in which the 15th tap alone can fill an empty cistern. So if the 18th tap takes 2 minutes, 15th tap will take how many minutes? Now, first of all, to understand the question, it takes a bit of time. See, understand what are they trying to say? Let's say I have tap number 1. Let's say it fills X units in 1 minute. Tap number 2 will fill double of that. So it will fill 2x units. Now tap 3 will fill double of 1 and 2 together. Now tap 4 will fill double of 1, 2 and 3 together. Tap 5 will fill double of 1, 2, 3, 4 together. But understand, we have to go up to the 18th tap because we know the timing of the 18th tap. And they're asking us about the 15th tap. So starting from the first tap is not going to make sense because it's going to make us some extremely complicated and lengthy. So what we'll do is, let's say tap number 1 to 14 together fill 1 unit in 1 minute. Okay? So we have added all the units of 1 and 14 and let's say they fill only 1 unit in 1 minute. So if I ask you 15th tap will fill how many units? They're talking about the rate of filling. So basically they're talking about the number of units getting filled. Okay? So 15 tap will fill double of 1 to 14. So they will fill 2 units in 1 minute. Now if I ask you 16th tap will fill how much? देखो इन दोनों का addition is 3 units. So 16th will fill double of 3. So 16th will fill 6 units in 1 minute. Now what is the total? It will be 6 plus 3 which is 9 units. So 17 tap will fill double of 9. That is 18 units in 1 minute. Now if I talk about the 18th tap, it will fill double of, see understand, 9 and 18 which is 27 units. So 18 will fill double of 27. So 18 will fill 54 units in 1 minute. But we know one thing about the 18th tap. It can fill the empty cistern in 2 minutes. So 54 units are filled in 1 minute. So 2 minutes में it will fill how much? 2 minutes में it will fill 108 units. And we know after 2 minutes it fills the cistern. So 108 units is your total work. Okay? This is your total work. Now coming back to the 15th tap. 15th tap fills 2 units in 1 minute. Okay? So 15th tap fills 2 units in 1 minute. What is the total work? The total work is 108 units. तो 108 units fill करने को कितना time लगेगा? It will take 54 minutes. So 54 minutes is your answer. So this is how you're going to tackle this problem. See, it seems to be a very difficult problem, but believe me, if you understand the concept, it's a very simple problem and it hardly takes any time to solve. Okay? Now, let's look at the next one. A contractor was assigned a task to be completed in 120 days. He initially hired 48 men to complete the task. But after 60 days, only 2/5 of the task was completed. How many more men should he hire after 60 days in order to complete the task on time? So the task has to be completed in 120 days. So how many extra men should be hired? So in this case, we are going to use the MDH concept. Okay, we know M1 D1 upon work 1 is equal to M2 D2 upon work 2. We are not going to take the hours because hours is not given. So initially, understand, we had 48 men. So they completed how many days? So we are just going to talk about this, not the total time. We are going to talk about they worked for how many days? They worked for 60 days. And they completed how much work? They completed 2/5 of the work. Now how many more men should be hired? Let's say X more men should be hired. So the total men will be 48 plus X. To complete they are supposed to complete the work in the remaining days. Now remaining days are how many? 60 days are over, 60 days are remaining, but because the total days are 120. So 60 days are remaining and they have to complete the remaining work. 2/5 of the work is done, 3/5 of the work remains. So 3/5 is going to be our value here. What are we going to do? We are going to equate both of them. Okay? M1 D1 work 1, M2 D2 work 2. My WW gets cancelled. My 60 will get cancelled. 2 will get, 5 will get cancelled. Plus 2 ones are 2 24s are. Now 24 into 3 will give you 72. Okay? 72 is 48 plus X. So my X will be 72 minus 48, which is 24. So 24 extra men should be hired to complete the work on time, which is 120 days. So 24 men is your answer. Now, okay, this is another CAT question. This was asked in CAT 16. It's also a CAT question. Very, very interesting question. I would suggest you to pause the video, try the sum first and then look at the solution. So what does it say? Dekho. Saurav and Sachin agreed to complete a work in 20 days. So they are supposed to complete the work in 20 days. They also agree to forfeit double the amount of wages corresponding to the amount of incompleted work. Basically, it's incompleted work if they fail. So let's say if they fail to complete half the work, they will pay double the wages. ठीक है, तो जितना भी काम इनकम्प्लीट है उसका डबल पैसा वो लोग पे करने के लिए रेडी है. If Saurav alone can complete the work in 40 days and they lost 1/3 of the pay due for total work, in how many days can Sachin alone complete the work? See, they lost 1/3 of the pay. ठीक है, they lost 1/3 of the pay. We know one thing, they lose double the money. ठीक है, whatever work is remaining उसका डबल पैसा they lose. So they have lost 1/3 of the pay. So if I ask you how much of the work was incomplete, so how much of the work was incomplete? It was half of 1/3. Half of 1/3 मतलब 1/6 of the work was incomplete. Because देखो, अगर 1/6 incomplete है तो उसका डबल पैसा वो लोग देंगे. 1/6 का डबल will become 1/3 and they have lost 1/3 of the pay. That means the work incomplete was 1/6. If 1/6 of the work was incomplete, the work completed was 5/6. ठीक है, 5/6 of the work was completed. Now they agreed to complete the work in 20 days. But can I say they in 20 days they did 5/6 of the work. Complete करना था work को, but in 20 days they did only 5/6 of the work. तो complete work करने को कितना टाइम लगेगा? So complete work in this case is one work. One work will take how much time? So that will take 120 upon 5 because 20 into 6 is 120 upon 5. So that is 24 days. So these guys were supposed to complete it in 20 days, but they took 24 days to complete the work. Now the question is, if Saurav alone can complete the work in 40 days, so Saurav alone takes 40 days, in how many days can Sachin alone do the work? Now, Sachin alone takes how many days? I don't know. But together, these guys take 24 days because this is the value we got. Now we are going to use our basic LCM method. We'll find out the LCM of 24 and 40, which is 120 units. Now, if I talk about one day, 40 days mein 120 units Saurav does. So one day mein he will do 3 units because 43 is 120. Together 24 days mein 120 hota hai. So can I say one day mein these guys will do 5 units. Saurav is doing 3. Together 5 is done. So can I say Sachin will do 2 units in a day. So if Sachin does 2 units in one day, he has to do 120 units. So that will take him 60 days. So 60 days is your answer because he will take 60 days to complete the work by himself.